Imagine you were offered a superpower by a genie, but this superpower came with a cost. The superpower is a linguistic superpower. You could persuade anybody to do anything. You could sell anything to anybody. You could get anybody to fall in love with you. The cost is that you couldn't ever tell anybody about this superpower, even the people you were using this superpower on. For example, let's say you went to the movies with a friend and you used this superpower to convince them to see the movie that you wanted to see. But they would remember that conversation as them persuading you to see that same movie. Or let's say you're a salesperson and you could just sell stuff to people all day long without any objections whatsoever. But every single customer would remember the conversation as them persuading you to sell them the product. And all your colleagues that would watch you sell things to people, they would think you were just getting lucky. They didn't think you were using any kind of technology whatsoever. Or suppose you saw an interesting, attractive person in public and you walked up to them, you used this superpower to get them to fall in love with you, and you lived happily ever after. But for the rest of your lives together, they told everybody that they persuaded you to fall in love with them, and it was their idea for you two to get together, and you could never share the truth with anybody. Would you accept this superpower? At first, it seems kind of like a no-brainer, of course. But we love to brag about our accomplishments. If you know any salespeople, you know they love to puff out their chest and brag about their latest conquests. If you know any guys that like to seduce ladies, you know they love to puff out their chest and brag about their latest conquests. So keeping this superpower to yourself might be more difficult than you think. But here's the paradox. The part of you that wants to brag about the superpower to others, that's the same part of you that is keeping you from being persuasive and seductive. Something very, very interesting happened back during the agricultural revolution about 10,000 years ago. It seems that our instincts have kind of flip-flopped. For example, back in the day, before agriculture, it was a fantastic trait to always be hungry, to eat as much as you could whenever you could, to just stuff yourself silly whenever you had food. But if you did that today, it would kill you. We also had a collection of social instincts back then that really, really helped us. Every time you did something good that would benefit the tribe, you got a lot of positive social validation, and that made you feel really, really good. Every time you did something bad that put the tribe in danger, you got a lot of negative social validation, which made you feel very, very bad. That compelled you to do more good stuff for the tribe and less bad stuff for the tribe. That required being hypersensitive to social signals. But if you're hypersensitive to social signals today, it can destroy your happiness. It can send you on a never-ending clout-chasing quest that will leave you forever unfulfilled on social media. It can make you too terrified to leave your house for fear of all those potential negative social signals you might get from other people. Similarly, our ego instinct is the same way. Back in the day, it was a fantastic trait to always be bragging about your accomplishments, to have a competition to see who could accomplish the most so they could brag the most. This would produce the most benefit for society. And whenever there was a mutual problem, an idea smackdown was the best way to solve the problem. 10 guys arguing over who's got the best idea to solve a common problem would produce the best way to solve that common problem. But today, idea smackdowns are not the same. Back then, they were non-zero-sum games. For every winner, you didn't need a loser. For every winner, everybody benefited. But today, when there's two people having a conversation, a persuasive conversation, it is a zero-sum game. That's why sales oftentimes feels so confrontational, like it's a battle. I win, I win, I win, I win. The answer is to learn to manage your instincts. Just like you've already learned to manage your hunger instinct. You can ignore short-term hunger for a better benefit later on. You can ignore certain social signals from people that don't matter so you can get a better benefit later on. Similarly, you can learn to ignore your short-term desire to flex your ego to get a better benefit later on. Once you realize that the ego is a collection of instincts that you can manage, just like you've learned to manage your other instincts, it will open up a whole new world for you. Persuasion will be easier. Social anxiety will start to decrease because social anxiety is based in part from ego safety or a worry about ego safety. So when you learn to manage your ego and temporarily turn off your ego, it will make you much more friendly and charismatic, and you'll feel much more safer in social situations, which will give you the best of all worlds. You'll be more charismatic, you'll be more persuasive, you'll be more outgoing, and you'll feel comfortable doing all these things. You won't feel the need to push yourself through any imaginary barriers. So learn to manage and turn down your ego, and you will find it is a very, very wonderful experience. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to learn more about how to improve your communication skills, check out the links below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.